All right, today we are diving into a massive policy shift in China. Seriously, if your company moves money across its borders, this could change pretty much everything about how you operate.
So let's just cut right to the chase. Does it ever feel like your company's cash is just trapped in China? For years, treasurers have had this massive headache trying to move funds efficiently in and out of the country. You know the drill, right? The whole process has been notoriously slow, super expensive, and just wrapped in all this red tape. It's been a huge barrier for global businesses trying to optimize their capital. But what if that barrier is finally coming down?
Well, that's where this new rule comes in. It's a total game changer for global treasury, a new nationwide rule from China that's basically rewriting the book on cross-border cash flow.
So what exactly happened? Well, back in December of 2025, China's central bank and SAFE, that's their State Administration of Foreign Exchange, they rolled this policy out to streamline everything. And believe me, this isn't just a minor tweak, it's a complete overhaul. At the heart of all this is a concept they're calling integrated cash pooling. Now, what does that mean? In simple terms, it lets multinational companies, maybe like yours, merge all their Chinese yuan and their foreign currency funds into one single unified account. It's like finally breaking down the walls between all those different currency silos. And look, to really get how big of a deal this is, you have to see just how different things were before. Let's do a quick before and after. You know, this wasn't some snap decision. This policy was carefully tested over years. It started small, with pilots in major cities, and then slowly expanded. It's a really clear sign that they were serious about getting this right before taking it nationwide.
And the difference? Oh, it's night and day. I mean, we're going from this tangled mess of separate, really rigid currency pools to one single unified system. And instead of getting complex case-by-case approvals, now it's a simple one-time registration. But honestly, the biggest win has got to be this. Transfers that used to take days now happen in real time. That's huge. And listen, this isn't just some theory on a piece of paper. During those pilot phases, 98 major multinational corporations put this entire system to the test. So they proved it doesn't just look good, it actually works, right out there in the real world.
Okay, so how does a company actually use this to unlock its capital? Let's break down the mechanics of it. They've really streamlined it down to 3 main steps. First, you've got to meet the eligibility criteria, and don't worry, we're going to cover that in just a second. Second, you pick a qualified partner bank. And third, you file for a one-time registration with SAFE. That's it. Now, the real engine behind all this is something called the Domestic Master Account. This is where the flexibility really kicks in. It can hold multiple currencies, you can even overdraft for payments, and converting between currencies is so much simpler. It basically gets rid of the need for all those clunky, separate capital accounts you had to deal with before.
And check this out. Here's a number that should get your attention. 3.5x. Companies can now borrow foreign debt up to 3.5 times the total net worth of their Chinese member companies. The takeaway here is massive. This dramatically increases your access to international capital for your China operations.
Okay, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But it naturally leads to the most important question for your business. Are you actually eligible?
Right, so this policy is really designed for the big players, large, established multinationals. You can see there are some pretty significant revenue and payment thresholds to meet. Plus, your company needs a top-tier compliance rating, what they call an A-class rating in China, and you need a corporate structure with at least 3 member companies, either domestic or overseas.
Okay, so let's say you qualify. What's the real bottom line impact on your business? This is where we see how the policy actually comes to life. Let's take a look at Haida Group, an agribusiness that was in the pilot program. They said, and I quote, their cross-border fund transfers went from days to real time. Just think about that. That's an incredible leap in operational efficiency. And here's another great example. Wistron, a huge electronics manufacturer, used this new cash pool to fund their expansion into Southeast Asia. They were able to tap into lower-cost capital and move it exactly where it was needed most. It just shows the kind of strategic advantage this system can give you. And if you want a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about, just look at the battery giant CAT-L. They used this system to manage a whole network of 27 different entities across 6 countries. And get this, they moved over 3 billion US dollars in just 6 months. That's the kind of power you get from a centralized, efficient treasury hub. See, understanding shifts like this is absolutely crucial. It's exactly why we say you've got to know China to do better business. Save time and money with expert insights on China trade and investment.
So what's the big picture takeaway? Well, this policy is way more than just some technical rule change. It's a really powerful signal of China's ongoing commitment to financial opening and, frankly, making it easier for global companies to do business there.
And that leaves us with one final big question for you. With capital in China now more mobile and more accessible than it has ever been before, the real question is this: how are you going to redesign your Treasury strategy to take full advantage of this new world?
You know, answering questions just like that is what this channel is all about. This channel will bring you practical knowledge to navigate business, investment, culture, economic trends, and communication tips in trades with China.
So if this breakdown was valuable to you, please do us a favor and press that like button and subscribe now for actionable insights and win-win. Thanks so much for watching.